Uncut and uncensored. You know, there's a saying that Silver Quill does in his reviews, collabs, or anytime it's necessary. And that is the phrase continuity. Continuity, if you will, that's a word that you need to keep in mind. You see, the reason Silver Quill brings it up is because he brings it up due to the fact that he's happy that an episode acknowledges events from another episode or a previous season. Now, recently I watched or was rewatching Thespio and Voice of Reason's latest at the screening review, as of right now, on Daring Doubt, the final Daring Do episode. And even though I gave my thoughts on it and I thought it was a decent episode, Voice and Thespio, boy, I'll tell you, could say otherwise. Because Voice even allowed for this episode to be uncensored or unfluttershied, if you will, so that he and Thespio could get out the true frustrations and feelings about this episode. And like I said at the beginning, one of the things Silver Quill likes to use in his videos, whether he's collabing with someone like Thes or collabing with someone like Voice, is continuity. Here, Voice and Thes, along with Map, along with a few others, felt that that wasn't here. But why is that? Why do writers of episodes, whether those episodes are finales to character arcs in a series or not, or sub-arcs in a series or not, why do they write them to the point that everything else that came before them doesn't matter? Well, my theory is this. My speculation in theory is this. You see, Nicole Dubuque probably looked at this from a fan's perspective and realized that the Daring Do episodes, they didn't really mean anything in the long scheme of things. They didn't really matter at all when it came to the overall plot at the conclusion of any season they were part of. So she pretty much figured, you know what? And again, this is speculation on my part. She pretty much probably figured, you know what? It's not going to really matter in the end. Daring Do's not going to play a part in the end. Ali Zolo's not going to play a part in the end. Caballero's not going to play a part in the end. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to write the episode the way I see it and go from there. And that's what she did. Even though fans would probably call her out about what she did, she probably realized that, or realized that was going to happen, but she pretty much probably had the mindset if it's not going to matter in the long run, because Daring Do is not going to play a significant part in the rest of the series. I mean, she probably also looked at it from a marketing standpoint, noting that the only reason Daring Do ever had episodes was the fact that her character became popular, because some looked at it as a Rainbow Dash recoloring and a play on Indiana Jones, but also because of the fact that later on they would actually release and merchandise and sell Daring Do novels to the public, even in a complete set. And my honest opinion, Nicole probably looked at it from the manner of, it's just for that and nothing else, and it has no real consistency. It has no real consequence in the long scheme of things. That's why she wrote the episode the way she did. Now, as far as other episodes that have suffered this, where continuity seems to be ignored, again, I think it's not just I don't think it's just, the writer figuring, well, we're ending the story arc anyway, we might as well do this. No. Sometimes it is communication. And it's communication between the established and the new. See, the established writers and creators on a series like Friendship is Magic should at least give pointers. They should at least give pointers to the new writers. Give them some idea, give them background, give them a little bit of research. Suggest that they watch certain episodes, key episodes, to get an idea of what they're writing about. You see, a lot of people loved Between Dark and Dawn, but felt that there was some inconsistencies as far as continuity is concerned and the way the characters were represented. Some look at Trivial Pursuit, I should say, and 246 Great, and they look at the fact that although those were bad episodes in their opinion, those are episodes that could have been done earlier on in the series because they would have benefit there from a continuity standpoint. The same even with this recent episode of Growing Up is Hard to Do. Some would say it belonged in the number 12 episodic spot for the final season before Between Dark and Dawn. And that Last Crusade should have been the 22nd episode because from a continuity standpoint, it makes more sense. Some even bring up that it could have been done, an episode like Growing Up is Hard to Do, could have been done in earlier seasons, like season 6 or 7, or maybe even 8, and it would have made more sense. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen, and a few things could have came into play. As I've mentioned before, they could have basically had the number of episodes needed for that season that they couldn't fit another one in there. So they had to wait, and they had to wait. That's why some of these episodes feel a little off. So, in the long run, I will admit that continuity does play a major factor, and it should be acknowledged. But there's a reason, though, people like Nicole Dubuque will write an episode the way she did, even despite the fact that she may know about the continuity, and she should acknowledge it, which she did, but instead wrote the episode to go the way she wanted, because in the long run, in her mindset, from my speculation, in her mindset, it's not going to really matter in the end. Because like I said, I'm speculating that she looked at it as, well, Daring Do's not going to play a factor in the finale. Ali Zolo's not going to play a factor. Cabriello's not going to play a factor. It's not going to really matter. And maybe she had other reasons. Maybe she did probably want to go the route of, you know what? We're always portraying him as the bad guy, but we don't know why he's a bad guy, why he's acting this way, why he wants to conquer the world, why he wants to unleash 800 years of scorching heat. There's got to be a reason. And maybe that was her thought process, that maybe because Daring Do and Caballero, mostly Daring Do, was taking the artifacts, it just ticked him off to the point that he says, enough. I'm going to take control of this world. I'm going to put this world through misery, through unrelenting heat and all that for so long because people, they are defiling, they are desecrating my land, and putting my job as a guardian on the line, at stake. So maybe that's how she saw it too. Look, like I said, I agree continuity is a major, major deal. I get that. And it should be strongly considered. It should be strongly utilized. But in the end, it all depends on how the writer's point of view goes, how they see things playing out, how they view things. Like I said, Nicole could look at it in either two ways, like the two ways I mentioned. That in the end, it's not going to really matter because Daring Do, A.K. Yearling, Caballero, and Ali Zolo are not going to play a part in the finale. They're not playing a part in the long scheme of things. So it's not going to matter how it ends, how the story arc, character arc ends. Or like I said, she could look at it from the perspective of why does Ali Zolo want to do this? Why is he making a deal with someone like Caballero who's going to probably, trick him in the end, betray him in the end, to do this and that? There's got to be a reason. So maybe she went with that. Maybe she thought that was a way to go too. Again, I'm not saying that she was in the right in doing what she did, but she did what she felt was needed. And in the end, in my opinion, she did a decent episode. Does everybody agree with that? Obviously not. But to me, it was a decent enough episode to where even if it didn't make sense to you in the end, it's still kind of, when you kind of put the pieces together, if you will, or at least try to kind of see it from all these perspectives and all that, it kind of makes sense, but not really. I mean, it's basically up to your your thoughts and how you feel about it. So anyway, though, I just thought I'd talk about that real quickly. I mean, I know, again, not a lot of people are happy with the way Daring Doubt was and how the story arc, character arc for Daring Do came to an end. But again, continuity, yes, it is an important factor. It should be utilized, should be focused on. But I think in the end, Nicole looked at it from either two ways. One, from a story perspective, we didn't know why Alizolo acted the way he did and did this or did that, threatened to do this or that, and maybe she wanted to go that route. Or on the other hand, she just looked at the fact that none of these stories with Daring Do are consistent to the plot or have ever been consistent to the plot of the season in the long run, so there's no need to worry how the story arc, the character arc for her is going to end. Again, my opinion, my speculation. But let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Love to hear what you have to say. Voice, Thespio. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well as yours, Map. What do you guys have to say about it? And I will talk to y'all later.